Thank you so much for joining me today at the Corporate Counsel Exchange. Could you start off by telling me a little bit more about your role and responsibilities?
So Pearson is the world's largest educational services provider. We provide everything from textbooks to digital learning services and technologies. We're also the largest testing company in the world, and we are the largest English language services provider. I have a team of about 200 people, of which about 100 are lawyers spread out across 6 continents.
So you're on a panel discussing the evolution of the General Counsel's role and its influence on the corporate stage. Why is it important for General Counsel to evolve and to be more involved in business matters rather than purely legal matters?
Well, I think that the role of the General Counsel remains to be a chief risk evaluator, particularly legal risk. So I think it's really important when we think about these sorts of things that we don't forget that. At the same time, the skills that have been needed and that are required in order to do the role have changed a lot as a result of a number of factors, both external and internal. So if you look at the external factors, you have the rise of what I would call the regulatory state. You have data protection, you have anti-bribery, you have competition law. You have lots of forces that are putting a lot of pressure on businesses. The stakes are higher and it's far more complex. And then on the internal side, you've got this real push towards becoming a better leader, managing people more effectively, cutting costs, providing proactive and pragmatic legal advice. And I think all of those things are driving a need for GCs to have a completely different skill set from what they had even 10 years ago. And in order to really succeed in this role, I think you need to have a very close understanding of the business. You need to be a leader who has a seat at the table, and you need to have discussions and be able to have discussions on everything, including legal and non-legal topics. So those are the skill sets that I think are needed in the 21st century, and that's why the role is changing.
And what steps are you taking at Pearson to align more with the business, and how are you overcoming challenges along the way?
Well, we've had a lot going on at Pearson in the last couple of years, so we've reorganized completely the legal function. I joined about 1.5 years ago, and since then we've put a completely new structure in place, which means that our lawyers are now embedded into the business units. They report up to me. For the first time, we have one cohesive legal department, but each of the lawyers has a client, and every client has a lawyer, and we expect both parties to be accountable for each other. So that's one big change. Secondly, we've rolled out an entirely new culture. So it's all about leadership of self as well as servant leadership is what we call it in the legal department. In other words, supporting and enabling the teams that you manage. We've rolled out a number of new technologies. We've actually invested in and rolled out 5 technologies this year: contract management, matter management, e-billing, IP tracking software, e-signature tools. So quite a bit on the technology side. And then we've also reassessed our relationship with our partners, our external partners. We've been managing our spend. We've cut about $7 million off of our legal spend in 18 months by reassessing the ratio of internal to external spend and picking the right strategic partners, law firm partners to work with in our core regions. So there's been a lot underway.
What are the top projects you plan to run in your legal department in 2016, and what do you think will be the main challenges with achieving this?
Well, there certainly are a number of challenges. There's no shortage of challenges. I think the 3 biggest ones would be data privacy, which events in the last few weeks, I think, underline the importance that everyone has to figure out the right way to manage that area. The other one is really just harvesting a lot of the data that the new technologies we're rolling out has spun off. So we're looking to find ways to capture that data, analyze it, and put dashboards in place and act on that data. So I'm a big believer in data. And then I think thirdly, we are really looking very carefully at competition law, and this is a space that we've brought in a global competition council. We're going to be looking to become much more efficacious in that space and put the right processes in place.
And what services and solutions do you think will be most beneficial to you when trying to achieve this?
Providers who have technology solutions are always interesting to me. Consultants who look at workflow and service delivery would be another area. As I said, I'm a big believer in trying to bring metrics, bring technology into the legal space. I think too few of us do that. And that's the language that our clients speak and our business partners speak. And so we need to get much better at articulating ourselves in those terms.